Hey guys, so I wanted to make another video to talk about the Model S and the Model X configurator. Since there have been a lot of changes, in fact, while we're all busy with autonomy and Model Y news, the Model S and Model X are not lost. There have been a lot of updates to this, of which many people don't even know about. So here I am to tell you what's new here. So let's start right here with the Model S, and in the Model S they've brought back the standard range, the $78,000 model, which was not there before, but they've brought that back since they found the demand for a lower range, high-end vehicle. So that's nice to have it back. And if we go to the Model X page, that is still there. If I just change these wheels, yeah, we'll get to those wheels actually later. But yeah, so you can see the Model X is still here for the $83,000, the $5,000 difference as it always was. Other than that though, an even bigger upgrade in my opinion is this long range. I'm sure many of you must have heard about this since this has gone wild, but would you look at that, 370 miles from the previous 285. So that is an increase of 85 miles, if I'm not wrong. 85 miles for a mere $10,000. Okay, and it's not a mere $10,000. It's a lot of money, but 85 miles is also a lot of range. So if you do road trips, I think that this might be a good idea for you. So I always used to suggest that the lowest end battery was the best for most people, but there comes a point at which, the lower range battery gives you a decent range, and the upgraded batteries also gave you that range with a little bit more. But that upgraded battery didn't make it a big difference. If you're doing a road trip, you'd still have to stop at the same superchargers. But once the difference in range is this much, it really makes a difference. Like previously, say you're going from SF to LA, San Francisco to Los Angeles, you would have to stop at least one supercharger. In fact, most people would stop at two for faster charging speeds. So most people will stop at two, but you have to stop at least one. But this car can actually do it without having to stop anywhere. And in fact, it'll still have miles left. This car can go from Monterey, which is even more north of San Francisco, to LA with still having some miles to spare. So I think at that point is when you know that the longer range is worth it. Well, for some people. Personally, I would still go for the standard range since, well, I don't have the money to cough up another 10 grand. But then we go to performance, and this has your 3.0 0 to 60 with the 345 mile. Of course, the miles has gone down since the more powerful drive unit needs to take more current. In fact, that's one more thing. The reason that they got the 370 miles in this long range is not because they upgraded the battery. In fact, it is because they upgraded the drive unit, which is something quite fascinating. And I hope that they'll release more details on that. But back to the performance. They also have the ludicrous mode, which is 20 grand. So what they've done is now the ludicrous mode is actually free for people who have already purchased a Tesla previously. So they want to support people who have purchased Model S and X who have helped them get to this point. So they've made ludicrous free. Now, given I really love the gesture and it's great that Tesla is doing that, but that's, you're already paying over 100 grand to get to that level. So another 20 grand, it's really for people who are going for that top of the line model, which I don't think is a lot of people. By the way, that's just my opinion. So let's go to the exterior. These colors are the same, but we've got new wheels. So there was a time at which Tesla had arachnid wheels, and really they keep on changing their wheels. And I guess I kind of like it, but yeah, so actually let's just go to this wheel, which is the new one, the twin turbine wheels. So I'll just zoom in a little bit on this, and you can see that this wheel is kind of similar to the Model 3 wheel, but for some reason it just looks better. And this wheel is quite gorgeous. I really do like it. But even better than this wheel is if we go into the Model X configurator, they have introduced this, a two-tone slipstream wheel. So you may not be able to see what's new here until I show you this. So this is all one tone, everything is silver, and then we go here, and those backs are black, so you really don't see it, and it just looks like this kind of turbine, which is just gorgeous. I really love the look of this. But I do feel like in black, I don't know which one I like more. Since the black, I've always loved black on wheels, but this is also just, this is like, if I'm going for a silver wheel, this is what I would get. Let's go back to the Model S, since I feel like this is just a better vehicle to represent everything. We go to the interior, and we have our standard three options. Same thing here on the interior. However, you do have these different seating interiors, which is nice to have, but we'll leave that since that's not new. But yeah, so the premium interior, which is black and white, and the cream interior, I don't actually think that this interior, like the quality changes since they've made everything premium interior, and that might be because of the performance. If I go down to standard range in interior, okay, yeah, so it's still the premium interior, but they do charge you for the upgraded colors if you're in the standard range. If you're in performance, then they don't charge you for the upgraded colors since, well, you're already paying so much. In my personal opinion, I do like the cream interior, but that's just me. So anyways, yeah, so we covered a few of the changes, which was in the car itself and the wheels mainly. The wheels is something that most people don't know about. And let's go to Autopilot, which is where I think the biggest changes are. So Tesla had their autonomy day on Monday, where they talked about a lot of stuff. People really didn't understand a lot of it since it was very technical. So here I am to try to clean up some of that for you. So for the technical stuff that Tesla talked about, it was mainly revolving around their new chip. NVIDIA had a chip which Tesla used to use, and that chip was some 5 times slower, I'd say, maybe even more, than Tesla's original chip. Tesla is not a chip manufacturer, not a graphics manufacturer, but they were able to make a chip that is much better than the leading competitor, and that is something that, you really have to applaud them for that. That's amazing. So yeah, so they've unveiled that new chip, and now it's allowing for Autopilot to be full self-driving. Of course, they said that before, but they've brought it back, I guess. And the other thing is Autopilot is now included. The $2,500 option is now included for everyone. There is no more price for that, so that's nice. But full self-driving is here again, so that's $5,000, and that gives you a lot of stuff, which includes the traffic lights and city streets coming later this year. So all this is possible because of Tesla's new chip, which is now here in the Model S, the X, and the 3. So I can't wait for that. And another thing, which I didn't really talk about, is the supercharging speeds. So the supercharging speeds have gone up significantly for the Model S and the Model X. I believe it can do some 300 kilowatts on V3 superchargers, and basically it's a 50% decrease in time on average from the old Model S and Model X, and that is just amazing. I love how Tesla has been able to pull that off. By the way, if we just go over to the last page, that's payment, and that's all standard. So yeah, that was pretty much it. The Model S and Model X have changed quite a lot, and I think that they're still fantastic vehicles, as they always have been. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button since there's a lot of great content coming up. I'll catch you in the next one.